Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with what the is happening in the UK. I've been on YouTube and I searched British looking for reactions, and I've been seeing a lot of riots. I saw something about a Southport stabbing, and I am myself wondering what is going on over there. It looks like absolute mayhem. We're about to find out in this video. If you live in the UK, talk to me. What's happening? What is it? But before we dive in, if you happen to enjoy this, don't forget to subscribe and get the video a like. And let's see what's going on.
You wanted to divide them. You wanted to separate us. So we look divided.
For years we've been told that grassroots political movements are the future. Community activism, the way forward. Empowerment of working people, a necessity if we're going to get meaningful change. But now, thanks to globalism, one of the consequences of which appears to be mass migration, there are movements, new movements, that appear to be getting incredible traction. In my country, the UK, there was a massive march that seems to be a kind of Britain first, England first march. Let's together talk about this movement, its figurehead, Tommy Robinson, and work out, is this a movement that can change Britain? Change British politics? And is it a movement that is motivated by love or hate? Because certainly the legacy media will tell you this, that these movements are hateful, that they are racist. Some of you might have seen Tommy Robinson on Jordan Peterson and heard his biographical take on why he has the feelings and experiences he's had coming out of Luton, with its complexity and with the challenges that have come with a community that houses both white English, black English and Muslim people. It's an interesting story, and you can check that out for yourself. Certainly the march over the weekend got a lot of support. There was a counter march, and the counter march was of course an anti-racist march. But I'm wondering this, is it possible to be anti-racist, pro-community, pro-religious freedom, pro-English values, pro the working class people that built a country, and anti-establishment power that benefits from division and uses that division to turn people of different religious and cultural identities against one another? Let's have a look at this story together.
So one group, why is one group being called racist and one group being called anti-racist? Are these marches born out of racism? Are these marches out of fear? Are these marches out of different policies? What is the main reason for these marches happening?
Are people allowed to be patriotic? Are people allowed to be nationalistic? Are people allowed to be proud to be British or American or Pakistani or French? Or do you think that one of the projects of globalism is to create a kind of sense of disorientation when it comes to national and cultural identity? If it's important to preserve the identity of Japanese people or Swahili people or people in Iceland or in various communities across nations, wherever you go in the world, do English people have a right to preserve and conserve their identity? And is there a way of doing that that doesn't necessarily involve invective, vitriol and hatred? Tommy Robinson has long been a controversial.
The way I feel is, I feel like you should be able to be proud of your country, where you was born, If that's what you want to do, you should be able to. Now, I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying if that's what you want to do, you should be able to. I don't see why not. But I feel like if you do move to another country, if you're migrating to a different country than the country where you are, yes, you can still be proud of your country. But I also think you have to kind of adapt to the country that you're in. You have to take in the cultures and acclimate to, right, the values in the country that you are in. So yes, continue to be proud of wherever you're from, but at the same time, you have to adapt to the values and everything about the country that you are migrating to. But let's continue.
Controversial figure in this country, emerging out of Luton with all of its challenges, which I suppose come from, like, there's a strong Muslim community there. By Tommy Robinson's testimony, there were grooming gangs and there were sort of drug dealing affiliated Pakistani derived gangs there, and it seems like it was a pretty fraught place to grow up. That's Tommy Robinson's take on that. My personal feeling is that, and I felt this for a long while, it's one of the issues that I've sort of paid attention to long before I got into this space, is that if there was ever a way that Muslim communities living in this country and indigenous, whether white or black, communities in this country were able to get along locally, communally and peacefully, we would have an incredible resource and force to oppose establishment power. I say that aside from, you know, adjacent yet tangential issues like grooming gangs, which is obviously disgusting and appalling, drug dealing, which is plainly illegal, and race-based violence. So, you know, these are all crimes and issues for which we already have legislation. This is Tommy Robinson's video from that day. Have a look.
What a feeling. Okay?
God dang.
Most hated man in Britain. All your lives didn't work. And the best thing is, we're unifying the people. Exactly what you wanted to stop. You wanted to divide them. You wanted to separate us. So we look divided. Come on.
I have to go back and see that interview. They said it was Jordan Peterson on what exactly I guess this is about.
Come on.
Is he allowed to be a nationalist? Is he allowed to be proud to be British? Is he allowed to stand up for his community and his community's values? And indeed, if you are a person that's approaching this issue from, I suppose, the kind of takes that I've only ever seen in the legacy media, is that inherently hateful? Certainly seems to me something that we are going to have to investigate and better understand, because in order for ordinary people to have a voice, leaders are going to have to come up from those communities, and in order for these movements to succeed, we're going to have to become pretty adept and deft at handling the idea that different cultural identities are going to have to operate together. I wonder where the protection of borders and patriotism ultimately leads. When does the preservation of a culture become the rejection of another culture? When does the right to express yourself freely become the oppression of the rights of others to express themselves freely? And again, I'm talking outside of the criminal issues that I listed a minute ago.
I love those questions he just asked, because I feel like those are very valid questions. Those were incredible. Those were truly, truly incredible questions that you really do have to ask yourself.
Grooming gangs, drug dealing, all those things are sort of public order and legal issues that should be sort of controlled in the ordinary way, regardless of whatever race or group is practicing them. What's this little aspect of the Tommy Robinson story? He's fled the UK. He does get arrested a lot, this dude, doesn't he? He got arrested in Canada. He's getting arrested in the UK. I feel like he went to prison without trial for a little while because of what was it? It was some sort of contempt of court issue or subjudiciary when reporting on a grooming.
So what did he do? He was grooming gang? What? Hold up, Tommy. What you do?
was some sort of contempt of court issue or subjudiciary when reporting on a grooming gang, I think in Rochdale. I'm not entirely sure. I should check my facts there, but this is a story right out of the legacy media. Tommy Robinson fled Britain on Sunday night to put himself beyond the reach of authorities in the UK, where he was due to be in court over alleged contempt proceedings, the hearing was told. The far-right activist was arrested on Sunday at the Eurotunnel terminal in Folkestone by police who used counter-terrorism powers, but was released on unconditional bail. Robinson was due to appear in court on Monday, accused of contempt of court for making a documentary Silence, which I happen to know because I saw him talking about it, is about a case where a migrant kid and some British kids got into some kind of spats, and he feels like the information was managed and manipulated. Pretty interesting story. Again, this is the same when I'm talking about wars that are highly contested and incendiary. Is there a way to hear all sides of a story and bring about some peaceful solution? Or are we going to continue to double down saying, Muslims are all perverts and disgusting, or white English people, or English people, generally working class and of a variety of racial identities, don't have a right to a voice? Going to be some interesting conversations in the coming years.
I do think, yeah. I mean, I wish we lived in a world where we could hear all sides of a story, where everyone could actually listen to each other and come together and find a resolution. I wish we lived in that type of world. Unfortunately, at this moment, it's sad that we don't. Where we live into the world where I'm right, you're wrong. So what you say doesn't matter. How you feel doesn't matter. And if anyone who listens to what you say, they don't matter. Right? It's a disgusting feeling that we can kind of live in this world where people are so divided, where people are so at each other's throats, where people can't simply agree to disagree, where it sucks. It truly sucks. And I guess that's the way of the world, and I hate saying that.
I would imagine, particularly if we are to oppose the centralised interests and authorities that benefit from Muslim communities and non-Muslim communities being in conflict. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat. Remember, like and subscribe. Give us a follow over on Rumble. We stream this stuff every day. We want you with us, baby. Hey, do you know that we make this content in participation and partnership with some fantastic groups, communities, and endeavors? In this case,
I'm gonna join. It sounds like he's gonna talk about sponsors and everything for the rest of the video, so I'm gonna stop it there. But yeah, I'll hopefully I've not been seeing a lot of peaceful marches. What I've been seeing on YouTube is a lot of clips of riots, and it's scary. It's like, I think when the Black Lives Matter here in the U.S., it kind of looks like a lot of those. And while there were a lot of peaceful marches, there were also a lot of riots, and you kind of see that, and you just hate to see that. And like he said, I don't know who, but there's definitely always going to be people that are profiting, whether it be financially or any other way, from the people of the country being divided and at each other's throats like that. So you can't focus on, right, who's really screwing over everybody. But it sucks. It truly sucks. Y'all drop in the comment section, what's the issue? I don't even know the issue. Is it immigration? Is it hatred towards one group of people? Is it feel like you don't have the freedom to express yourselves? Is it you feel like you're getting your freedoms taken away? What is it? That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, get a video a thumbs up, and check out this next video. See you guys next time.